Andre.
I thought there is some more.
Still, do you have more slides?
I think there are some more slides.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Just I'll take this very quickly. Of all the things that we've talked about, again, just to emphasize that all these must be supported, and they are supported through stakeholder engagement. There should be a lot of processes of engaging the different stakeholders that are part of this process, considering the right stakeholders that have the diversity of values, and using the consultative processes, and balancing between the scientific information and stakeholder participation. So as you're undertaking these, you need to balance to see that it is not so much scientific, but also you allow the stakeholders to participate in the exercise with their knowledge, with their experiences. Next. And also, as we said earlier, you must have the right knowledge base to help in the analysis and also in the dialogue. And we are saying that you need to have a strong information and knowledge base. And we could be having a diversity of methods to produce this knowledge and information that is relevant to the Foresight exercise. It should be, the information and the knowledge must be presented in forms that are easy to understand by the different stakeholders that are participating in the Foresight exercise. And like we said earlier, you must be able to use the different types of knowledge and information coming from the tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge, the formal and informal knowledge. All these must be considered to make the rich contribution to the Foresight exercise. Yeah, thank you very much. That is, thank you for listening to me, and back to you,
okay.
Chairperson.
Okay, thank you very much, Jerry. Yeah, let's hear, from Andre, showing the practical exercise. Okay, before that, the poll is running. Okay, may you kindly vote this poll? So what is your role in the CF? So we'd like to know who's attending this webinar. We are expecting the focal persons, the CIKM facilitators, and the Foresight facilitators also to attend, and also the technical working group for Foresight to attend this, and also the CF members. And you kindly indicate in which category do you belong?
So it seems there's no Foresight facilitator attending today.
Please, what is CF?
Okay.
Yeah, we encourage countries to find their facilitator, because there will be more and more activity coming, and if the focal person and this CIKM will have to deal with everything, they will be overwhelmed for sure. So now we are just launching the Foresight, then next week the digitization, and then after we will launch also the CSA, and then after the resource mobilization. So if one person has to deal with all these things, that person will be definitely overwhelmed.
Okay, I think maybe someone is attending this webinar. Maybe is not familiar about the CF. CF is a country forum where this is a national multi-stakeholders platform and network that brings different service providers in one platform for sharing and learning. Okay, if you got all the responses, Andre, may you kindly take the next session? And if you take like maximum 10 minutes, then we'll have the discussion. Okay. So far, it's good that we are seeing the Foresight facilitators, 21% out of 20, around close to 12. So Focal persons and CICM facilitators are there. And also the Foresight facilitators also that are attending. And CF members, which is good. So except we don't have participants from the technical working group for Foresight. So next time we shall improve that. This is good.
Yes, I think we just need to stress that each country fora has to put in place their technical working group on Foresight. And at the same time also we will select people from this technical working group to be in the continental technical working group. Okay, so
maybe I don't know. Maybe as a kind note, if you have any question, please send to the Q&A. Sometimes I'm just seeing I'm seeing some issues on the chat box. Sorry, I have not followed that.
yeah,
Okay, go ahead. Then I'll
raised.
scan. I'll scan through.
There are many hands raised, but I will summarize this practical exercise in 10 minutes maximum. So as we said, we will have some monthly trainings and then some exercise in between. So these exercises will be increasingly difficult, more complex. We are starting with I believe, the easiest one now. And it's divided in two sets of questions. The first one is more related to you as an individual in the context of COVID, and then you as an AEAS actor in the context of COVID. So this exercise you will run between the 20th today and the 17th of September. So you will have to organize your country for us so that you can start working on it, I don't know, 1 or 2 times and during the month, so that in the next meeting or training, you'll have something to share to others. So this exercise is based on this picture here. As you see, there are different areas, geographical areas. The first area is the rural area, the very remote one, then the suburban area, and the urban area. So this is the basis for the exercise. And then there's a set of questions related to you as an individual, not as mandatory an AES actor. You can ask this question to anyone. So in which area did you stay before and why? In which area are you now? Why? So before COVID, and now where are you? Understanding that COVID will be there for long, in which area would you ideally like to stay or to move? And if you want to move to another place, where, and explain why. You haven't moved there yet. What is retaining you? So we are also trying to ask you 5 conditions, 5 parameters that makes you stay at the same place. What's retaining you there? So this is a very personal question, and it can be asked to anyone in your surrounding, not even for extension workers. Then now, as an extension worker before COVID, in which of the 3 areas did you worked and delivered the service? And then which type of activities were you doing there? So we are asking you to list 5 types of activities. Were you doing some trainings, providing some videos, radio programs, and so on? Then describe briefly the methods and tools that you used before. Was it visits to households, or was it the farmer field school approach, or what did you use before? And we want to know a little bit also about your clients and their preferences. So before, from your observation, in which area are people likely going to stay or move, and why? if they want to move but haven't moved yet, what is retaining them? What are the conditions for them to decide to move? Whom were your clients in AEAS? And whom are the clients that need most of your service now? And why do they need most your service? So these are the first set of questions. And as you see in this picture, we have a very short animation. This presentation will be shared to everybody, of course. There are different areas. There are the fields, there are the supermarkets, there are the livestock and so on. And there are also some transporters and so on in this picture. And the question can be asked to any of these people across the value chain. So now, talking about you as an AES worker now, with COVID around you, in which of the 3 areas are you delivering AES services? Which type of activities are you doing there? Please list 5 types of activities and describe the methodology and the tools that you are using. So that's it for the, okay, there's another question, set of questions. Okay, the Generation C, we call Generation C the generation of COVID, Generation C AES worker. So list 5 major difficulties you encounter in your AES activities before COVID-19, and what are the new difficulties you are encountering now in your job? How did you overcome, respond to these difficulties? You can share your experience. And what will change in the content, the service, and the delivery methods and approaches in future? So a lot of questions. You have 1 month to discuss about. And of course, maybe you won't have response to each question, but at least what we are asking from each country for us is to start organizing your technical working group and start discussing on these questions. And CIKM should be there to write some stories, to collect some data, and photo also if some of your meetings happen in the field, so that we have something to post on our website and something to memorize. After 2-3 years, we will come back to your findings, to your stories, and we will see how the evolution has been. There are so many scenarios that can happen between now and 3 years, and there are so many expectations, some desideratas that you might want that has never been fulfilled, but you want it to be fulfilled. So let's start dreaming, thinking, reinventing our future through these exercises. As you saw in these questions, it's very simple, straightforward, and you just need to reply and discuss why. There are many whys, you've noticed, and try to write some stories about it or some reflections about it. So it's a very simple exercise for now. Over to you. Thank you,
Okay.
Samsung, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Andre. I'm seeing some couple of hands. Let me give first chance to Zuwani. Then I'll come to Beatrice and Akim. Zuwani, unmute yourself and speak.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for all the wonderful presentations. I have written up on the questionnaire, on the questions space, some of the issues that I wanted to raise. I just wanted to talk more about, actually I was endorsing the theory of change, but I think we should adopt that because it really helps to know where you are coming from and where you are going to. The second one, I was suggesting that we now need to talk a little bit more about the CAADP framework, because that is what is guiding all our countries. And I was even coming to think, maybe this is the time to review the CAADP framework. So part of the exercise and part of our comments and reviews could help our nations at the national level, where most of the participants or most of the stakeholders are sometimes even not aware of the CAADP framework. It's just through the government officials themselves. And therefore, I also want to encourage our extension services to be familiar with these CAADP documents at the country level. I just want to share an example where I discovered this. It's a platform that I support on women. And all of them are complaining about, I think they're not receiving any government services. And I wondered to what extent have the CAADP framework be introduced at that level. So those are just my comments and encouraging us that let's talk more, maybe in the next session, just maybe a slide reminding all of us about the CAADP framework. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoane. Andre, you will respond that later. Maybe Cyril, would you kindly introduce yourself so that we'll respond to your questions? Are you from the CF members or?
Yeah,
Cyril.
okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, this is my first meeting. My name is Cyril Njumea Keme, from the central part of Africa, specifically Cameroon. Currently, I'm studying master in post-harvest technology.
Okay.
And I've been working with non-governmental organization, training smallholder farmers on vegetable production.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, for now,
I saw you. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. For now, this is my first meeting, like I said. So I don't have any role with Foresight. And per my question that I posted in the question and answers, yes, I want to find out what are the procedures on, yes, to take a role, and also to find out if Cameroon is already having a country representative, and how can I link to the person in charge of Cameroon, so that maybe while studying here we can still be working together or getting information about latest distinct activities that is being carried on.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that is why I would like to know about you. Thank you for your interest, and also thank you for coming and attending this important webinar. So we shall link you up with the CF focal person and the communication, information, and knowledge management facilitator in Cameroon, so that you can play also a role. Okay, we shall link you up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, Beatrice, I'm seeing your hand. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Samson. My question is a simple one to Andre. The exercise which has given, is it a group exercise or individual exercise?
Okay, which is a good question. Again, this is also, it is almost similar with the question of Amsalu. I think we are not expecting Amsalu. As a CIKM facilitator, you are playing a facilitation role to engage the CF members, okay, with those questions. It's not only for individuals, but also, I think, Andre, he will respond in a better way.
Why I'm asking that, Samson,
okay,
is that when it says, for example, where were you staying before? If it's a group exercise, then maybe we can say among the 10 people who participated, these ones were staying in rural, these ones were staying in, But if it's an individual, then it will be straightforward that, you know, Beatrice Uzove or whatever it was, where we said before I was in the rural area, where are you now? I'm in the urban. That's why I'm asking for that clarification.
Okay, good. You know, I'm just explaining the question raised by Amsalu. I'm not answering, but I'm just also, there is similar question because he's asking that I'm not AEAS worker. Is it going to be a question goes to AEAS workers only or for myself? The same question also is forwarded from Amsalu. I'm just explaining that to Andre. So Andre is going to respond to us. So Andre, since there are no any hands, so may you kindly reflect on those questions?
Yes, thank you, Samsung. I will try. I took note of the questions, and I think Jerry will help you also, since he's
Yes.
the
Yes.
M&E expert at AFAS when we talk about theory of change. Of course, yeah, the Foresight methodology and approach is a very good tool to develop theory of changes for AEAS. And I think Jerry can add on that after. Now, what Madame Joy recommended is that we integrate the CADEP framework in this Foresight exercise, which is very, very relevant. Even the program we are running now is CADEP XP4. So her suggestion is very relevant. And I think it's important to note here that all the AFAS activity will be very participatory, and we will listen to what you propose. And when it's relevant, we can prioritize it. As Jerry said, everything will be participatory. Even in this Foresight, it's a participatory approach. So we take good note of that point. Maybe as Madame Joy said, very few people know about the CADEP framework, and we need to do more sensitization about it. So it might be in one session in future. It can be also integrated in the Foresight maybe. Let's talk about that, but it should happen, and it's a very relevant point. I don't know if other colleagues have something to say about that. Maybe Max, who is
Jerry.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
If you I think I have nothing much Jerry. To add on. I can't add on. I cannot speak better than that. It's very good.
Okay, I think especially the comment from Zwane is good to contextualize the Foresight in the context of CADEP. So that is a very valid suggestion. So far, we have planned to look at the Foresight in the context of COVID-19, CSA. So what she's suggesting is good to look at the Foresight in the context of the CADEP framework, which is good suggestion. I think this is a good input. Maybe we shall discuss internally, and we'll discuss how we can address this. So, I mean, the question from Beatrice. Yes, please go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, there are questions from Beatrice, from Cyril, from Amsalu, sorry. So from Cyril first, I saw his question also in the Q&A, and I already replied. So you have to contact your focal person, which is, I think it's Nestor in Cameroon, and the CIKM, we have two CIKM, Cynthia and Bebel, that side. So you can just, yes?
Please, I don't have his contact or maybe email address.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We shall provide that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, because all the activities will be coordinated always by the focal persons and supported by the CIKM.
Okay.
Now, regarding the Beatrice's question, the idea in this Foresight exercise is to get maximum inspiration and maximum influence in how we see the future. So inspiration and influence about the future. So if one person feels, let's say one focal person, one member of the country for us sees that he has something very brilliant to share, why not write a story about it? And why not allow that person to be interviewed, fully interviewed by the CIKM or that person, and write something and share it to others during the next session. This is the exercise we are doing, getting inspired and trying to anticipate, trying to view the future so that we can provide some influence, some direction, some orientation to others for a better future. So it can be done, all the exercises can be done individually, and you can write a story individually, but you can also write a group story, and that we organized a meeting, exchange meeting where we shared our views, and we noticed that ideas are different, or we have the same, we are thinking the same way. There are some major trends, but we anticipate also some risk or some challenges here and there. So you can also write something based on a group discussion. It depends on how you want to deal with this exercise, but there are many possibilities. At the end, the most important is that we have some information about what you did and what are the outcome from there. And the CIKM is responsible for collecting the stories. So he has to produce some story with the Foresight focal person, so that we can share something on the newsletter or on your website, or you can even share it also on your social media. Sometimes it can be just a quote that someone says during the meeting, which triggers inspiration for others. So just go for it, share it, tweet it, so that it can trigger more reflection among other people. So to answer short, it can be done individually, it can be done in small groups, as well as it can be done in a big symposium like what AFAS has organized previously. I hope I responded to the question.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think when Andre presented an overview of the foresight for AEAS at AFAS, especially for the year 2020, he mentioned that each country is expected to assign the facilitator for foresight. And also we are expecting the technical working group for foresight, which are coming from the CF members. And there is a focal person and the CIKM facilitator. So this activity is going to be a joint and as a teamwork. So the facilitator is playing a key role because we are expecting him at least to have some understanding and so on. And I think shortly, Andre is going to send, in fact, South Africa has already picked, and I think the focal person, I mean, the facilitator is also attending this webinar. So we are expecting each country also to assign the facilitator. So this is going to be a joint activity. Then, as Andre said, you can test these tools for yourself and write a short story. And also you can do it in a group, and also you can document that story. And also this can be applied to the different CF members also. Then you can write also the story. So again, you can also apply these tools in a different context as long as within the agriculture extension and advisory services. That is the purpose of sharing these tools. Definitely the slides will be shared, and also this recording will be shared after this webinar. And this is good. This is the first webinar, kind of introductory session, what's all about Foresight and what are the different approach and what are the existing tools available. And again, also would like to encourage you also to read more from the website. You can find, explore more, what are the different tools and what are the practical examples from the different literatures and so on. And also, don't expect also everything from upper secretarial side. Next time also would like to hear and would like to also learn from your practical experience. That is the purpose of the whole of the webinar series. So today is like an eye-opener session to create a common understanding about the concept and to share the available approaches and what are the different tools in the context of agriculture. So I think now we don't have much time. In fact, we are already on time. If you have any some general concluding remarks from the participant, I'll give one or two. Then maybe we'll announce the next webinar session, when it's going to happen and what is going to be the topic. Then we'll close this webinar. Are there any general remark which you'd like to make from participant? I'm just seeing one hand from Professor Daly. Please go ahead, Prof.
Thank you very much, sir. I hope you have seen our own submission in regards to our facilitator, Nigeria. Did you get it at all?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Sorry that I couldn't confirm that. I think everybody received. Yeah.
Okay.
So for now, yeah, just to clarify, the first who submitted the Foresight facilitator's name with CV was who was that again? South Africa. Yeah, South Africa, then Nigeria, and Madagascar. So sent, but the CV is not here yet. And yeah, congratulations to these countries who already managed to appoint their facilitator. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, then in the meantime, Andre, may you kindly announce the next webinar, when it's going to be and what is going to be the topic? That will conclude. Are you there, Andre?
I was muted, sorry. Yeah, so
Okay.
yes, so as we said, we will have a monthly Foresight webinar starting now. So today's the 20th, and the next one is the 17th of September. So the Foresight webinar will happen every third Thursday of the month. So each third Thursday of the month, we will have the Foresight webinar, and it will last 1 hour, 1 hour and a half maximum. So not too much waste of time. The topic will be, we will continue the training with Jerry about the different tools that we need to explore more. As we said, the first exercise that we are running this month is a very easy one, but we need to be more equipped with new tools. And the next session will teach us more about different tools, and we will go to another exercise. The next exercise will be on climate change, Foresight on climate change. So for now, we just focus on the COVID, and those who have questions, please feel free to send in our WhatsApp group or by mail, and we will see how to exchange information about that.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we would like to encourage you also to carry on this discussion through the D group, so that we can harvest those discussions and submissions and so on, and we shall use those discussions as an input for the next webinar session. I think it's good also to continue on WhatsApp and also in the D group. So whatever experience that you have, please kindly share, and what is happening in your country, especially in the context of agriculture extension and advisory services. So in the next webinar session, we would like to hear more experience from the country. As Andre said, the training again is going to continue from the AFA secretarial side. And also we are expecting a lot also from the Foresight facilitators. I would like to hear some practical experience. I think after saying that, since we don't have time, so let me take this opportunity to thank Andre and Jerry for your very interesting presentations and sharing your experience, and also for those participants who also contributed through sharing your experience and asking some questions to stimulate some discussions. And also thank you all for for all participants taking your time to attend this webinar. And I hope we will look forward to seeing you in the next webinar, which is going to happen on September 17th. Thank you very much. And I just declare now this webinar is officially closed. Thank you very much.
No photo today.
Do you want to take photo? Do you want to take photo, Andre?
I have a database.
Okay, we have already a database. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you very much. We're grateful.